The Deliverers is about a boy named Eric Scott who meets a talking owl named Stig in his backyard when he's camping out one night. And Stig asks him if he would like to go on an adventure. Now Eric's taken aback by this, but he decides, what the heck, I'm going to go. So they enter another world through a doorway in Eric's drain pipe underneath his driveway. And then they go off and they have to defeat a band of pirates to save a fishing village called Calendria. And that's his task, and Eric is not sure if he's up to it or not. And, well, read the book and you'll see if he wound up being able to complete the task or not. The idea for the story really started with Stig. He was a character that had appeared in a couple of short stories that I'd written a number of years before. He didn't have a name. He was just a snowy white owl, and he was always called the Owl. And so when I sat down to write a children's novel, I wanted to kind of explore the idea of who this owl was and where he came from and what he was doing. As I was writing, it became clear that his name was Stigidae Ghostwing, Stig for short, and that he came to help people because he was sent on assignments by somebody called the Gatekeeper, who managed all these worlds. He managed traffic to and from worlds via the hallway of worlds. And so if there was a world that was in trouble or somebody who was in trouble, the Gatekeeper would send Stig or somebody like Stig, another traveler, to one of these worlds to help them and to get things going again. As Stig puts it, the world hits a snag and needs some help to get unstuck. Then the other thing that really influenced me in the idea for this book was just Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia, and the idea that traveling from one world to another is as easy as going through a wardrobe or going through a door under a drain pipe in your front yard, as is the case with Eric. So those were really the influences in the idea behind The Deliverers. The Deliverer, Sharky and the Jewel is my first novel, and that took a little bit of time to get everything to come together. The idea kept growing as I went along, actually. So it took a good 5 years to write and edit and rewrite. Again, it was my first novel. I think the second novel that I've written and am currently editing, The Deliverer's Order of the Crystal Lion, that took less than a year to write. And of course I'm still in the editing process, so it'll be a little bit over a year. But the first one was a challenge because I was really kind of finding my way. But I think it all came together really nicely, and I'm really happy with it. So all in all, I think the time it took was really worth it. Eric and Stig meet a number of people. The Gatekeeper is the first one they meet in the hallway of worlds, and he directs them on to Calendria, which is a fishing village, and Kate Endria, who's the Lord Mayor's daughter, is the first person they meet there. They also meet the Lord Mayor himself, Charles Endria, and members of the village council. And then of course there's Halitosis the dwarf, who kind of drops into the scene, and they have to rescue him, and that's how they meet him actually. And he is very instrumental in the story. And from there on, of course, after that they meet Sharky. And they don't really have any real close contact with Sharky, but he impacts the story a great deal and messes up their plans, as any good villain will. The Deliverer, Sharky and the Jewel is currently available on Amazon as a paperback, and there's a Kindle version out as well. By the end of this year, 2012, there'll be an audiobook version that will be available on Audible.com, Amazon.com, and iTunes. Jim Singer is a great narrator, and he's doing the voiceover work for the book, and it's really coming along great. We've got about 20 chapters or so done as I speak, and within the next few weeks it should be done, and then it's just a question of Audible releasing it. So by the end of middle of December, I think we should have it out. So I hope you check that out too if you have a chance. Thanks. Yes, there is a sequel. Right now I'm editing the second book in the series, The Deliverers 2, Order of the Crystal Lion, and that's coming along pretty well. So I figure by the time I get the artwork done, Daniel Vogel's going to do the cover and the map and the insert illustration, and get the book all laid out. Anna Vogel's going to do the layout on it as she did in the last book and set the type and everything. I'm planning to have it out end of February, beginning of March 2013, and as soon as I have it out there, I'll let you all know, and then I hope you'll check it out.